I can't speak about what it is to mature as a woman, but I can speak to my experiences as I've matured. And there comes a moment in a man's life when he realizes that what he once took for granted, energy, confidence, physical strength, and clarity of purpose, no longer arrives automatically. The mornings feel heavier. The mirror reflects not just age, but questions. Is this decline inevitable? Is this what maturity means? For many men, the loss of vitality is not merely physical. It is a psychological and spiritual adventure. It is the quiet erosion of identity. Society tells men that aging is synonymous with surrender, that slowing down means stepping aside, becoming less relevant, less potent, less needed. Over time, some men internalize this lie and begin to live smaller lives than they were meant to live. But the truth is this: aging does not strip a man of his worth. Neglect does. What fades is not masculinity itself, but the attention we give to it. The mentality of the diminishing man. Many men reach maturity carrying unresolved contradictions. In youth, they were reckless, riotous, and impulsive. In those years, strength felt endless and responsibility felt optional. Mistakes were easier to ignore because the body and mind recovered quickly. But when those same boys became men, as me, the bill eventually comes due. Some men feel they gave away their vitality, through excess, poor discipline, broken priorities, or years spent serving everything except themselves. Others feel like life took something from them: health, opportunity, or fairness. Both perspectives lead to the same danger: resignation. Resignation is the most corrosive force in a man's life. It convinces him that decline is natural, that ambition is foolish, and that self-care is selfish. Once a man accepts that lie, he stops believing in renewal. Belief is the first source of strength. What a man believes about himself determines what he allows himself to believe or become. And when men believe that aging equals weakness, they stop fighting for their health. When they believe responsibility means self-denial, they stop nurturing their inner fire. When they believe masculinity is outdated, they abandon leadership at home, in their families, and in their communities. Yet history and wisdom tells us otherwise. True masculinity matures. It does not disappear. Strength becomes quieter but deeper. Desire becomes more intentional. Leadership becomes less about dominance and more about presence. Belief is not abstract. It is biological. When a man believes he is finished, his body follows suit. When he believes renewal is possible, his body responds. Responsibility, family, and community. It's not old-fashioned. It's essential. Responsibility has been mocked as outdated, but look closely at society. Institutions fail not because responsibility is obsolete, but because it is avoided. Communities crumble when those entrusted to serve begin serving themselves instead, stealing trust, misusing power, and demanding loyalty without offering integrity. The same pattern plays out in our personal lives. A man who abandons responsibility to himself eventually fails his family. A man who neglects his health cannot fully show up for his partner. A man disconnected from his own vitality withdraws from his community, not out of malice, but out of exhaustion. Responsibility begins internally. It is the daily decision to care for the body, discipline the mind, and guard one's beliefs. From there, responsibility radiates outward to family, to community, to service that is genuine rather than performative. Reclaiming what was lost or given away. Reclamation is not about reliving youth. It is about recovering its essence. A man does not need to become the boy he was. He needs to become the man he was meant to be. One who integrates strength with wisdom, desire with discipline, confidence with humility. This reclamation often begins with small, consistent acts. A new morning ritual, a renewed respect for the body, a refusal to accept apathy. When a man chooses to nourish himself physically, mentally, he sends a powerful message and signal to his nervous system. I'm still here. I still matter. And with that signal comes energy, posture improves, focus sharpens, intimacy just deepens, not just physical intimacy, but emotional connection. A man who feels alive again does not hoard that energy. It spills into his relationship and his sense of purpose. Maturity as a new chapter, not an ending. Maturity is not decline, it's refinement. A mature man does not chase validation. He generates it internally. He no longer confuses recklessness with freedom. He understands that vitality is not automatic, it's cultivated. When a man reclaims himself or belief in himself, he begins to reject the cultural narrative that tells him to fade quietly. He stops seeing age as a sentence and starts seeing it as authority earned through experience. This is where real masculinity lives, not in denial of aging, but in mastery of it. The choice that changes everything. Ultimately, this journey is not about a specific habit, food, or routine, though those can serve as a catalyst. It is about choice. The choice to believe that life has not taken everything. The choice to accept responsibility without self-erasure. The choice to serve family, community from strength, not depletion. The choice to reclaim what was lost, not with regret, but with intention. A man that makes that choice does not merely survive aging, he refines it. He redefines it. And that is not old-fashioned, that is timeless. Like they say, old soldiers do not die, they just fade away.